Well, it's a real privilege to be here again in Kenya, and particularly on the farm out here at Emboloy. It's been a long story, and seeing what we see today all around us, it brings a great deal of satisfaction, but also a sense of huge joy as to what's happened in that time. I think I first came across Kenya. I first came to Kenya in 2010 when I was working with a student at Africa International University. His name was Eli Kisala, and I got to know him. We were supporting him as a charity, and he said, "Come and have a look at Kibera." Now, I had already seen Kibera on the television because there's a program in the UK called Comic Relief, which raises funds for poor people all over the world. And on that particular time, a guy called Lenny Henry had come out to Kibera, and I remember distinctly seeing him sitting on a stone and weeping. He was saying, "These poor people have so little and we've got so much. I've got to do something." And that really struck a chord with me and my wife Marion, and we felt maybe there's something we could do to help. So we went to have a look at Kibera, and we had a look around the slum, and we went into the Free Methodist Academy with Reverend Eli Kisala. And afterwards, Marion and I said, we've got to do something to help these people. And so one morning, about 2 years later, I had a dream. And I dreamed that God had asked us to buy a farm. And this was something that was really quite a long way from our natural thinking, because how on earth were we going to buy a farm? It was going to cost a lot of money. But we thought about it, and we got people to pray about it. And after a little while, we set up an organisation called School Farms Africa in Guernsey. And we started to think about raising funds. Now, the strange thing is we've never actually raised any funds. The money just came in. People got to hear about it and heard about these poor children and heard about the possibilities, and the money came in. And so as the money came in and we were able to do various things, the project began to develop. We started looking around for suitable land. We obviously wanted somewhere that could be cultivated, and we looked all over the country. But we ended up here because the funds would have allowed us to buy land here, whereas in upcountry, where perhaps it's more fertile, the land prices are much more expensive. So we've somehow managed to raise enough money to buy this piece of land. But we were told it was semi-arid, and we'd always struggled to do something with it. But that didn't stop us, because we believed it was chosen by God for us, and that we were people who were going to be involved in this. And so we started off by considering how we could do something about the dry nature. So the obvious thing was to put a borehole down. So we drilled 2 boreholes, and they gave no water at all, just muddy clay. And after that, we wondered what to do. So we thought maybe we could raise the funds to build a reservoir. And our government very kindly offered to pay a large proportion of the money for this reservoir. And so that was built, and the rains came down, and the reservoir was filled. But it didn't meet every need. It was very useful for a time. We still needed that borehole. And then last year in 2021, I think it was, Christmas 21, we drilled another borehole, and we successfully did it. And so you can see all the crops around now that are irrigated by the borehole. You can also see on the perimeter here, you can see many local people who are coming to get water, which we're allowing them to have. They're bringing their yellow cans, and they're taking them to far afield, and we're able to communicate with these people. And the joy will be one day when we can start talking about the gospel of Jesus to these people, and to bring them into a faith in Jesus Christ. So we praise God for all the team over here in Kenya, led by Professor Laban Ayuro, the Vice Chancellor of Daystar University, and for Carol, who's been so influential in keeping things going and making people do things as she does, and for Joshua, and for all the rest of the team out here, and for Evans, who's worked so hard to get all these crops working in a very, very short time. Truly amazing achievement. So we really thank God for all his goodness, all his mercies to us, and for leading and guiding us. In the future, we're not sure what's going to happen, but we do know we trust a God who does know the way ahead, and in him we trust. And so we're looking forward to developing this piece of land so that children from Cabera and other schools can come out here and can enjoy this part of the world and come and learn. We can teach them about agriculture, we can teach them all sorts of things, and also the local community. We want to involve them too. So it's a wonderful place to be, and we're just so pleased to be here for these few days here in 2022.